Hello, this is Leo from Section 5. The topic about this library assignment is 1984 as epidemic begins. Today I'm going to introduce an epidemic as, and I will also talk about what happened when this epidemic began in around 20th centuries. Firstly, let's talk about as. What is as? As is basically a type of disease which will lead to some problems in humans systems. For instance, if someone who had this type of disease, he or she will lose the abilities of defending other virus or disease outside the body, like cancers, heart attacks, and so on. This actually demonstrates that this disease doesn't directly influence humans' body, while it makes other diseases be very simple to go through humans' bodies and influence all body systems eventually. This is a type of virus called HIV. Actually, this type of virus just causes the AIDS forming. HIV is actually transmitted by the exchange of body fluids, such as the blood, and breast milk, and so on. The origins of the HIV are still not clear now. However, the most possible origin of HIV is located in Africa. The virus was found in some animals' bodies, like glorias. Finally, the virus was named as SIV, not HIV. After finding this new type of virus in Africa, researchers noticed that SIV actually caused as symptoms. There was a result showing that the death rate was extremely higher for the glorias that had SIV in Africa. Therefore, researchers thought that SIV was actually the thing which led the illness of AIDS. Besides, researchers found that the Tanzania might be the first place in which people were infected by SIV. Later on, there were many places where this new disease separated out in the colonies in Africa. Eventually, scientists renamed this serious virus as HIV and analyzed that there were two types of HIV. Firstly, the first one is HIV1 and the second one is HIV2. Especially HIV1, which was found on the glorias. This played a very important role at that time because most people who had AIDS were affected by HIV1. Let's move to part 2. In 1982, CDC, U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, this organization found that there was a patient with series of other types of disease. So gradually, this patient just died of suffering other types of diseases. Then many researchers start doing research on the weird phenomenon. At the same time, the patient was called patient 0 by CDC, and this actually demonstrates that the virus HIV has been taken into the regions of North America. This type of disease was only an epidemic in Africa, but becoming a pandemic all around the world. During mid-1960s, HIV was spread across the entire world. Initially, HIV transmitted from Africa to Haiti, but it was brought into the United States from Haiti later on. After 10 years, the epidemic started being globalized. During the end of 20th centuries, people who were gay, sexual worker, drug taker, etc., were the major HIV infection sources. For instance, a drug taker, took the drugs by injection, then someone else used the user needles, which would cause the infection of HIV depending on whether or not the drug taker infected by HIV. As the conditions of each individual being better, more people who could have chances to connect to other good people, such as the people mentioned above. This was a major reason why this epidemic became so serious and globalized after the end of 20th centuries. Thank you for watching.